News came out
that Stadia.
Stadia. Rather bombshell news yesterday that Xbox bought Bethesda, specifically its parent company Zenimax, which encompasses a huge number of studios, including Bethesda. Let me see if I can get...
All I've got to say to this one is
Arcane. Yeah, they basically bought Arcane Studios, id Software.
That's Doom.
Yeah. Arcane Studios is the
Fallout.
Well, that
Arcane, Prey, and Dishonored.
Right.
Machine Games, which is the new Wolfenstein series.
Right.
And Arma too, ain't it?
Skyrim and Fallout.
Yeah, this was, all the PlayStation people that were laughing at the Xbox, going, yeah, you all ain't got shit for launch, you're fine, and the Xbox just gives them the middle finger, be like, it's what we got now, haha, and this wasn't even buzzed about. That's what's so bad about it. There was no rumors about this, nothing.
It came completely out of left field.
It was like all of a sudden, it was like, bam, here it is. We're like, holy shit.
The rumors came out after this news came out, because now Microsoft owns both Obsidian and Bethesda, so there's the rumor of Fallout New Vegas 2, maybe.
The series of ZeniMax are Alpha Dog Games, which is a mobile game developer, Arcane Studios, which is Prey and Dishonored, Bethesda Softworks, which is, of course, Skyrim, Fallout, Star Trek Legacy. id Software, which is Doom, which is the creators Doom, Quake, and several others. Machine Games, which is Wolfenstein, Roundhouse Studios, Tango Gameworks, and ZeniMax Online Studios, which developed Fallout 76.
Well, what I will say is this: I actually have a friend at Microsoft, and he said that.
Oh, yeah, what do?
What's that?
Oh, you got a friend at Microsoft too, so do I.
They had basically said that it wasn't talked about internally. It wasn't anything. It was oh yeah, I guess. By the way, we bought it today. Like it was. It was legitimately. He said that was it.
That's exactly what my friend said. What you're talking about in our Discord, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, this just came out of nowhere. Usually they pre-warned the entire team when something big is about to drop, and it just happened. Everybody's like, holy shit." People were losing their minds. It's like, what the hell? They thought maybe it was fake there for a minute, but then they got a company memo that yes, it was confirmed that it did happen.
So I've got a couple of different sources to pull from here making this statement. Upper Echelon released a video yesterday, I think it was, about this acquisition and went through the sales stats of Microsoft and basically said, yeah, $7.5 billion is pocket change for Microsoft. Microsoft's on-hand cash right now is about $40 billion. Liquid assets on hand is about $40 billion.
Well, let's put that into perspective real quick. Microsoft bought ZeniMax for $7.5 billion.
Billions
Disney,
and billions.
Conversely, bought Star Wars for about $4 billion. It also bought Marvel for about $4 billion. Microsoft just spent just under the amount Disney spent for both Marvel and Star Wars for ZeniMax.
And that's not even touching 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. What did that go for?
So here's the other thing. The CEO of ZeniMax Studios is a massive, business shark. When they first made ZeniMax Studios as a parent to Bethesda, the guy who originally created Bethesda was kind of ousted a couple of years later because they were partners in the beginning, and was ousted by the dude who's the CEO, Major Shark. The past couple of years, what have we all been doing? complaining about Bethesda doing all those little monetization schemes that they've been doing, and it's gotten increasingly worse and worse and worse. This is also at the time, amid the time that they were actually acquired by a portfolio company that essentially.
Venture capitalists, yeah.
Right. So at this time, all of this to me looks like the CEO doing everything he can to make it look like Bethesda is this really huge and shiny thing and then sell it off, which is what we just had happen.
So Walt Disney bought 20th Century Fox for $52 billion.
Jesus
so
Christ.
That dwarfs the rest
capitalism.
Pretty well. So holy crap.
Fuck
holy
capitalism.
Still 7.5 isn't chump change at all. But holy cow.
Well, here's a question. How much so they bought them for $7.5 billion, but how much debt did ZeniMax bring along with them? That's the thing that you got to think about, because game studios, look, just in general, acquisitions are never just about those figures. That it's about saying, okay, we're going to give you a certain amount of dollars. It could be in stock, it could be in cash, it could be whatever. But there's also the debt that comes along with buying that company. So game companies and game studios have never been ones to operate in the black. They're always operating in the red.
That's kind of got me wondering, because we know this pandemic has hit everybody hard this year, and you gotta wonder how bad it has made the game studios like Bethesda suffer to the point to where they offered them. I mean, Microsoft was able to buy them because if they're such, how the hell did that even happen? Because they should have been fine on their own. So that tells me there's something going on in the background where they thought, they needed to sell, and Microsoft was like, okay, sure, why not?
I've heard rumors that ZeniMax, and just kind of since yesterday, I've heard rumors that ZeniMax was not great off, that there had been some financial woes, and it could be because of pandemic, it could have just been mismanagement, it could have been, whatever. But I have heard that ZeniMax is, had some financial problems. So it's possible that Microsoft was coming in as White Knight at this point to save it, because it could have been that, yes, they were profitable. They could have been profitable. We don't know. They're not disclosing any of this kind of stuff, but it's possible that they weren't profitable, and it's possible that this was the way that they could save all of those jobs, was by selling it.
That's a possibility.
I also look at, you might be seeing some of those names go away if Microsoft decides to fold it all in underneath, Microsoft Gaming.
That's unlikely. Microsoft already owns 343 Industries, which is almost exclusively Halo. Compulsion Games, who made We Happy Few. Double Fine Productions, which is Psychonauts, Grim Fandango, Broken Age, and Brutal Legends, one of my favorites. In Exile Games, which is Wasteland and Bard's Tale. Oh shit. Microsoft now owns Wasteland and Fallout.
Oh shit. Wasteland and Fallout crossover?
Maybe. Mojang, which is Minecraft, which is, the most popular game on the planet next to Fortnite. Ninja Theory, which is Devil May Cry and Hellblade: Sentenced with Sacrifice. Obsidian Games needs no introduction. Playground Games, which is Forza Horizon. Rare, which is Sea of Thieves. The Coalition, which is exclusively Gears of War. Turn 10 Studios, which is Forza. Undead Labs, which is State of Decay. And World's Edge, which is Age of Empires. So that is everything that they had before they bought Bethesda. So the idea that they're going to just start collapsing stuff in really doesn't make sense. Yeah. What is more likely to happen is they bought all these studios. They're going to have a single studio develop one or two different kinds or properties of game, and then sell off what they don't need. But the fact that they bought all this stuff, I don't think they're just going to start shedding stuff immediately. They're going to leverage these names and these IPs in order to keep selling new stuff and sell the old stuff.
If they were actually smart, they would have had all of this stuff. Like they have all. Now think about what you just said. You listed off all of these game properties, all of these studios. How many of them are tentpole titles for the Xbox One Series 1X? None of them.
Let's see.
Think about it.
Well,
Think
there
about how
are
many
several
studios
games
there were, but think of the names that they have under their belt.
World's End Undead Labs is making a new State of Decay for the Series X.
Yeah, is it going to be available at launch?
As far as I know.
Okay.
We know 343 was developing Halo to be released, but it's not ready. And
they can take their time.
Rare is still running Sea of Thieves, so that's a service game that is going to be rolling over into Series X.
I hate Sea of Thieves.
You know what I want? You know what I want Rare to do? I want Rare to expand the Perfect Dark series, please.
Yes, that would be awesome. Forza's getting a new game for the Series X. Obsidian's Obsidian. Minecraft will be rolling over. Like I said, the most popular game. It's everywhere. It's on everything. The new Wasteland is out now, so that's not coming out for the new game. There's a new Psychonauts coming for the Series X.
Okay, so I just want to say this because it struck me when Dayspring was talking about it. I'm sitting here and he's talking about you're also acquiring the debt of a studio, and I'm like, wow, Microsoft just turned into BioShock Infinite. Bring us the girl and wipe away.
Nice.
I don't got a soundbite for that, but holy shit.
I've been through far too many acquisitions in my time, and it's always about, they're going to offer a certain amount of dollars, but they're also buying the debt that comes along with it. But they've done that calculation to say what you own and what you know and your people is worth X. Your debt may be Y, but your ability to make money is going to be Z in the long run. So they're playing the long game, which is fine. I'm happy with Microsoft playing the long game. But I don't think anybody saw this coming at all.
Nobody did. And I think a lot of it has to do with the available titles at launch for Xbox. Because now all these games go on Game Pass that they just bought. And
a few of them are already there.
A few of them already there. Well, no, but I mean, with Halo being delayed, that was a big, selling point for a lot of Xboxes. When has there not been a console out that didn't have a new Halo title attached to it at launch?
You know what the big news is in this acquisition? It means that Game Pass now gets Fallout Shelter.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting if they're going to do. It'll be interesting to see if they do. I hate using the term remastered, but it will be interesting to see if they do ported or remastered versions of some of these games. Like Doom Eternal is a fantastic game. It runs very well. It runs very well. It's a Vulkan title, so it's not a DirectX 12. It's a Vulkan title, and it runs very well.
And for those of you with poor computers, it is on PS now, and you can play it on there. It actually, it's a fun game. It's really fun.
It is. I'm just curious to see if they're going to. I'm curious if the code that they've written for it, especially for console, allows it to stretch its legs and breathe without a whole lot of work, because it's Microsoft and because it's kind of a Windows-esque type of operating system. It was an immediate port. It worked really well on PC. It plays so well. It plays well on Xbox. I'm curious if it's just going to go, okay, we're going to put out, Doom Eternal on next gen, or if it's going to be something that they have to work on because, but think about it, 4K textures, 120 hertz, whatever it is, Like,
I mean, I can totally
that's a good
see.
game.
I can totally see him doing that. I mean, if it goes on Game Pass, I mean, my God, they could do like the Ultimate Edition or something like that, and do an upscaled version.
The first DLC is coming out soon.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's true.
This is cool.
We're over an hour, so it's time to wrap things up. Final thoughts about the acquisition.
It's been a fun hour.
It was a hell of a surprise and a hell of a way to wake up on Monday morning. That's
no shit. I get a message in our chat, and Ross is just like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "What the holy shit!"
Yeah, I was pretty giddy for a bit.
Everybody was. I start getting messages, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, did you see this?" Yes.
Now, there is one shadow to cast over this story, is that with Microsoft going on a bit of a Disney-like buying spree, is there a risk of it becoming something of an intellectual monopoly?
It already is.
I'm going to say no. And the reason I say that is the idea behind a monopoly is that it's unfair to the consumer. And for something like this, they've got an idea. If Xbox was the only game in town and they're buying all these studios, then I would have said, maybe. But, with PlayStation, so long as Microsoft doesn't come in there and say, now that we bought you, you can't sit there and release your games for PlayStation. If they do that, then I absolutely agree with you that they're sitting there and they're playing dirty.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, are they going to allow them with Xbox having their own gaming platform with Game Pass and all now? Are they going to allow them to also release on Steam and this allows people to crossplay through Proton? Like, if you have a Mac, you can get on Steam and play Windows games. Usually, no problem.
A lot of those games are coming out on Steam. Master Chief Collection's update to include Halo ODST went live on Steam today, in fact.
Well, that's the thing, though, is now that Xbox owns all these other titles, is that going to be a thing now?
That is something.
I think they would be. I think they would be cutting off their nose to spite their face. Because if you think about it, if they're cutting off these other distribution channels, you're cutting off potential revenue. Think about it. People, Epic Games came out and people are like, no, I don't want to do Epic Games. I want to stay with Steam. There was this big whole thing. We don't like Epic Games, but developers are sitting there going, screw it. We're going to, we may go exclusive for Epic Games for a little bit. And then we go to Steam and we're on both. So I think if Microsoft is smart, they're going to, some of the games obviously are going to stay as Xbox only. Gears of War, Halo, they're going to stay there. If they're smart, they're going to say all of these studios that they've already bought are just going to go make them for Xbox. Great, we'll support that. You want to make them for PlayStation? Fine, because it's just mo money. If they sit there and they do that, they're cutting off potential revenue, and then that's whoever's in charge of Xbox at that point would be, hopefully would be held to task by the board of directors, because they're just sitting there, going, well, they're PlayStation. We don't want to mess with them, but it's money over there it's money that they could just be getting. So,
Travis, any final thoughts?
I'm cautiously optimistic about the whole, kind of in the doghouse with me.
Glad to see you're consistent. Mr. Cautiously Optimistic. Gotta love it. Son, how about you?
My final thought is, with $7.5 billion, maybe they can finally upgrade the creation engine. Damn.
Don't count on it.
Yeah. Keep on dreaming.
So here's a question. So they've now got Skyrim. Are they going to put Skyrim out on this new game system?
Don't even joke about it. I like Skyrim, but I am so over the remasters. Like, Jesus Christ, enough is enough.
Skyrim remastered 5.1.
Okay. then here's my final grenade because I saw that reaction. I've been waiting to drop this one. How long until we see GTA 5?
We already have. That's what infuriates me.
You mean GTA 6, right?
No, GTA 5 on next gen. That's what I want to see.
It's coming.
It's probably coming.
I'm waiting to see the
What?
fourth episode.
I just don't see why there's not anything else.
All it's worth. All right, guys. Thank you
And
so
I
much for
fucking
hanging
hate
out with
them
me
for
tonight
it.
and talking about all the geek stuff in gaming that's come out for the last couple weeks. If there's any more news in the near future, I hope to see you all again. And thank you, everyone in the chat and who's watching live or on the video on demand on Twitch or on YouTube. So once again, my name is Ross, joined by Sunseal, Travis, Jason, and Justin, and Nick. And I will see you next time.
Skyrim for the pager.
Stop it.
Nope, we're definitely gonna get GTA 5. GTA 5, it's gonna happen. Watch.
Super Mario Brothers.